It's fabulous.
Quiet, please.
Francis Ford Coppola is the writer and the director of the Warner's Seven Arts picture called The Rain People. Mr. Coppola, there were several hundred press people viewing your picture the other evening. I'd like to ask you, first of all, if you were pleased with the reactions that the audience gave, and what comments you've had about your film since the screening the other night.
Well, it's a difficult film to really judge an audience reaction. It's the first film I've made that wasn't a comedy. And you know, they can watch it, and afterwards there's this stone silence, and you don't know that's because they were all asleep or because they were so stunned by what they saw, you know. So from the reaction at the theater, other than the fact that they were attentive, I didn't know. And in speaking, I think the most important reaction I've gotten was the fact that people are very interested in it and think a lot about it even after they've seen it, and they're coming up to me and saying, well, I don't think she went back or something, and that's wonderful, you know, that if it stimulates thought about these things, maybe some husband will think about his wife in a way that he didn't before, and maybe they can build something more effectively because of it.
Well, we have been doing just that. The members of the press have been discussing it among ourselves, Mr. Coppola. And one of the comments that I made was that I had a great deal of sympathy for Vinny, the husband. We only hear Vinny's voice, and we get one just sort of darkened glance at him. I would be interested in your comments as a director. How do you feel about someone like me who feels sorry for Vinny?
I think that probably you're looking at the film with eyes that are based on other films. In other words, filmmaking has established kind of conventions, and we've all seen hundreds and thousands of movies, and they've taught us how a story should be. And in a movie, the husband would be a main character all the other time. In a regular movie, when the girl and the boy go into the motel, it would be a romantic situation. I think this movie very often turns right instead of left, and you have to look at it with eyes for this movie and not with eyes from other movies.
You have said, Mr. Coppola, that you like to make very personal films. What do you really mean by that?
Well, when I was in UCLA Film School and we talked about a personal film, that meant a film that you were going to make because you wanted to and not because you were hired to.
That's a very good closing statement, Mr. Coppola. Francis Ford Coppola, the director and the writer of The Rain People.